Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, a local resident saves a driver from a burning car. We'll tell you what he did and find out how community members got informed about a highly debated apartment complex. Then a local pantry receives a 500-pound donation. Plus, we'll tell you who took home the big prize at this year's Dancing with the South Bay Stars. These stories and much more just seconds away. Your local news starts right now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. Thanks so much for joining us. My co-anchor, Jen Chun, has the week off. Here are your top stories. People had the chance to voice their opinions and concerns about a highly debated apartment complex in Torrance. It was a full house as people attended the proposed Butcher Hill Solano apartment complex forum hosted by the League of Women Voters from the Torrance area. The goal of the meeting was to present the topic with no bias and to educate the public. The proposed project is located at the southwest corner of Hawthorne Boulevard and Via Valmonte, which is in the hillside overlay area. The development would be a 248-unit apartment complex in 3 5-story buildings. Along with the units, each building will consist of 4 residential floors above a ground-level parking garage. The forum was moderated by Pamela Thornton, and there were various people on the panel, including a Torrance resident, environmental geologist, a tribal Indian community group member, and the builder, all who represented different points of view. Currently, a study is being drafted to evaluate the project's potential impacts, such as land use, noise, traffic, and greenhouse gas emissions. A 24-year-old Torrance resident put his life in danger to help another person, a heroic act that neighbors and first responders say not many people would have done. Torrance CitiCABLE reporter Hibah Samad has the story.
There was a lot of cars over here that just had been sideswiped, and then like right here there was a truck that was just like the whole engine was completely collapsed in.
A completely totaled car was the sight 24-year-old Kenneth Philly Mohala saw down the street from his home at 2 a.m.
There was a guy, he was trying to hide in his car, and we all kept trying to get him to like come out, and he was just trying to hide, and then his car started catching on fire.
This is when the community took action. Philly Mohala, along with several neighbors, took a bat and tried to help the man escape, but they weren't able to break the window. And that's when, without hesitation, Philly Mohala took matters into his own hands.
So he gave me the bat. So then I started hitting the window, ended up breaking his bat, and then we went to the back window and broke that window out, and then pulled him out. Probably like a minute after we pulled him out, his car actually ended up exploding.
Soon after, first responders arrived on scene to find the car fully engulfed in flames, and Fire Captain Nick Facer started to investigate what happened.
Kenny, as I was gathering the information, the story, truly it was the neighbors going, hey, it was that guy's the real hero. We all tried to do something and we were unsuccessful. That guy had the right idea and saved the guy's life.
Captain Facer has worked for the Torrance Fire Department for 14 years and says he never saw such an act of selfless heroism from a bystander.
But Kenny came in and made that ultimate decision that saved this guy's life. We serve the community, and for us, it's awesome when the community gets involved and they help their own people. That's what it's all about. Sometimes we like to be there right when it's happening and do the help, and a lot of times we're there just a little too late, and if it isn't for the actions of those people, it changes the outcome of the incident.
Being hailed a hero, Philly Mohala says he did what he hopes anyone else would have done.
It's really weird to think of the word hero being applicable to me.
Facer says Philly Mohala is an inspiration to not only the firefighters, but to the community. And when asked if he had to do this all over again, this is what he said.
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Hibah Samad.
This isn't the first time Philly Mohala has saved a life. He also saved someone after they jumped off the Manhattan Beach Pier. He says after the recent incident, he's considering a career as a firefighter. Well, a recent toy drive hosted by Torrance Transit was so successful they were able to donate to multiple organizations. More than 2,000 toys and $1,200 in cash donations were collected for the Stuff a Bus campaign that was held at the Del Amo Fashion Center recently. Toys and gifts were presented to the Torrance Family Crisis Center and the Department of Children and Family Services. During the recent council meeting, Mayor Patrick Fury awarded the American Red Cross with a check of $1,296.
In addition to donations, we could sure use more volunteers, and anyone that is interested, I recommend you go to the website redcross.org. And again, thank you.
Torrance Fire and Police, along with the Women's Club, were also partners during this campaign. An organization that helps locals find jobs and employers shared their success in 2017 to City Council. A representative from the South Bay Workforce Investment Board shared their quarterly update. Stories of success was a highlight. Chris Cagle said there have been multiple people who landed jobs at L3 Communications in Torrance. Cagle also discussed the organization's partnership with a program called PATH that assists homeless with housing. The SBWIB will also help these people find jobs. Representatives from PATH will have office space at the organization's Torrance One Stop Career Center, where they will help homeless and find homes, and then SWIB will take the next step to help them get back on their feet with career placement. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board has had multiple job fairs, and the One Stop Center in Torrance has helped more than 11,000 people this past second quarter. The board is working on creating a BioFlex apprenticeship and continuing to help veterans. For more information on SBWIB, you can head to sbwib.org. Still ahead, South Bay locals showed off their dance moves, all for a good cause. Plus, a new flower shop is selling more than what meets the eyes. Stay right here. We'll be back in just a minute. Two congressional leaders serving the South Bay stopped by Torrance to discuss change on the horizon. At the 2018 State of the Region Luncheon hosted by the Torrance Chamber of Commerce, keynote speaker Congresswoman Maxine Waters talked about her top initiatives, including infrastructure and job creation. Waters says she's working to expand federal support in infrastructure in communities nationwide through two new bills, one which would provide nearly $15 billion over the next 6 years for more jobs through investments in infrastructure. She applauded the city's commitment to transportation through Torrance Transit that has 11 bus routes and assists nearly 3.9 million passenger boardings every year. Congresswoman Waters has assisted transit by getting funding for the construction of a compressed natural gas fueling station. Waters also announced other funding Torrance Transit will get for projects.
Torrance Transit is expected to receive more than $16 million in federal support through transportation formula grants for the period between fiscal year 2014 and fiscal year 2018.
Waters also highlighted the city's water initiatives. Congressman Ted Lieu was invited to provide an update on a number of policies that impact Torrance and the South Bay. Lieu talked about infrastructure and says that there should be broadband everywhere. He also mentioned there should be a cybersecurity component to infrastructure. The event was hosted in partnership with Sunrider International. Every year, South Bay locals take to the stage to dance for great causes. The 7th annual Dancing with the South Bay Stars paired up local notables with professional dancers to raise funds for the Torrance Cultural Arts Foundation and other organizations. There were 8 couples who represented charities from the American Red Cross, Schweitzer Learning Center, Walk with Sally to the Elisa Ann Roosh Foundation. This year, there were a wide range of dancers for everyone's taste.
With tea for two, two for tea.
Tim Plow and Rita Kachikian won the Fancy Footwork Award. The audience favorite went to Joe Ruiz with Camille Taxic, then Eileen Hupp with Kent Lowell, Toddy Hayes with Valerie Rossi Tello, Ellery Sanders with Larissa Bates were all judges. Favorites. The grand prize winner went to Diane Newmark, who danced with Joel Torgerson. The winner received $1,000 for their charity. El Camino College receives a large donation to help combat student hunger. 8th graders from El Segundo Middle School, as part of their graduating community service project, donated 500 pounds of food recently. 3 students wanted to tackle the growing problem of food insecurity in the South Bay. In October, El Camino College established the Warrior Pantry to support students facing food insecurity and hunger. Over the holidays, the students held a food and toiletry drive, placing donation bins across the South Bay. Seafood company Chicken of the Sea also stepped in and agreed to donate 100 pounds of product to push the students to their goal. The pantry is located on the campus in the Physics Building. Speaking of donations, the City Social Services Commission is hosting a drive to help those in need. The commission is having a toiletry drive from March 12th to the 23rd. They are looking for donations including soap, lip balm, baby wipes, lotion, and the items you see on the screen. They will also be collecting towels, socks, and blankets. The drive will benefit 3 local organizations: Harbor Interfaith, Family Promise of South Bay, and 1736 Family Crisis. You'll find multiple drop-off locations, including the City Hall lobby, Human Resources, all Torrance libraries, Torrance Police Department, and all the city's fire stations. Anyone with questions can call 310-618-5880. A well-known grocery giant is expanding in Torrance. This new Smart and Final Extra had its official grand opening ceremony in North Torrance, bringing the total count of Smart and Final locations in Torrance to 4. The store prides itself in offering a larger array of produce and meats. They carry natural and organic products as well. A highlight of the ceremony was when the manager of the store announced 2 charitable organizations they plan to give back to, including the Torrance Education Foundation, with a $2,500 check that was accepted by Mayor Patrick Fury, along with another donation to North Torrance High School. Smart and Final Extra is known for its smaller and convenient sizes. In honor of Frozen Food Month, the store is offering $10 off the purchase of $40 worth of participating products. A new flower shop in downtown Torrance is offering more than just a place for fresh blooms. Bloom Maven recently opened in Old Torrance near Foster's Freeze. The location offers a creative space, giving business owners a chance to host monthly floral and plant workshops. Then on the weekends, they will offer regular fresh flower shopping. Customers can find fresh floral arrangements, installations, and event florals and plants, weekly corporate floral arrangements, and plant styling. This one-of-a-kind business has its studio available for rentals to host a party, photo shoot, meeting, or creative event. For inquiries, their email is bluemaven@gmail.com. 2017 was a year of success for Robinson Helicopter Company, and the future looks even brighter. An end-of-the-year report shows the company produced 305 helicopters last year. Their model, the R-44, led the way with 174 productions, which also ranked as the world's best-selling helicopter, according to the General Aviation Aircraft Shipment. Some other highlights from the company are more options offered with their models and a wire strike protection system and cargo hook for the R-66. Founded in 1973, Robinson is the world's leading manufacturer of civil helicopters. A business that works with the government is growing right here in Torrance. Physical Optics Corporation announced it has completed the creation of IntelliSense Systems Incorporated, a subsidiary of Physical Optics Corporation, or POC. IntelliSense was launched with $24 million in revenue and currently employs 83 people. In 2018, they are projected to bring 100 new jobs to the area. The company hosted an open house recently. POC's product line includes the micro weather sensor, which was developed for military and defense purposes. It was recently utilized in the California wildfires by providing critical and localized weather data to firefighters. Physical Optics Corporation is a systems integrator of advanced technology serving the military, defense, and security markets since 1985. IntelliSense Systems is set up to engineer, design, develop, test, and produce sensor systems and optoelectronic solutions for the United States government and commercial markets. A popular Japanese food on-the-go chain is expanding its menu options. Yoshinoya announced its new menu items to include more seafood. The company says the items will add spice and more flavor. The new options are lobster stew, sweet chili shrimp, and grilled tilapia. Yoshinoya dates back to 1899 with the opening of its first restaurant in Tokyo, Japan. It now has nearly 2,000 locations in the United States and across the world. It has 103 locations in California. The local hospital is putting a healthy twist in celebration of St. Patrick's Day. On March 15th, you can stop by Providence Little Company and Mary Medical Center to celebrate with healthy eating. Instead of green beer or shakes, the market will be offering green options for lunch and performing live demonstrations explaining how to cook with greens and why they are necessary to your diet. The event will start at 11 a.m. in the cafeteria. The hospital also has a farmer's market located near the front atrium in the guest parking lot. A local cardiologist is being recognized for his years of service. Dr. Michele Del Vicario from Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center in Torrance was surprised as the hospital announced they will be naming its new cardiovascular center of excellence after him. The medical center will bless and dedicate it as the Del Vicario Cardiovascular Center of Excellence. During a ceremony on April 20th, representatives from the hospital say the honor is in gratitude for his decades of exceptional service to patients and community members, along with his continuous support of the $35 million new center. Dr. Del Vicario has been in practice since 1976, and he focuses on interventional and non-interventional cardiology. A career program by the Torrance Fire Department reaches a milestone. The Fire Explorer program celebrated its one-year anniversary. Explorers and their families were invited to dine at the fire station and to also see where the explorers have been training every Monday for the past year. The program is for young men and women who get to learn about fire service firsthand. Fire explorers participate in non-hazardous activities that will familiarize them with the nature and demands of this career. Training in 5 areas of development, including career, character, service, life skills, and leadership experience. A Fire Explorer is the entry-level position. For more information, you can call 310-781-7000. Still ahead, upcoming events right here in the city, plus a preview of what to expect on the next episode of the Sports Desk. You're watching This Week in Torrance.
Humans have been gathering around fires, sharing stories for centuries. It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire.
Oh my gosh, bear!
Wait just a minute. Is that the Smokey Bear?
He scared us.
How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? Precisely, the garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally the true test, feeling if the ashes are cool. It looks like they are. Bravo.
Wait, do you mind if we could just...
Ah yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe. But not so much by Smokey Bear.
Just 1 second, Smokey, wait.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back, everybody. Here's some upcoming events. You can learn how to be eco-friendly by taking a free California Friendly Landscape training class at West High School on March 10th from 9 a.m. to noon. You can learn how to use the latest sustainable materials and techniques. Register online at sbesc.com. Plus, come prepared to feast at the Ken Miller Recreation Center on Saturday, March 10th. The Torrance Firefighters Association is hosting their annual Spaghetti Dinner fundraiser. It will start at 4:30 and run through 8 p.m. There will be entertainment as well. The fundraiser will benefit the Lisa Ann Roush California Burn Foundation. Then the Torrance Historical Society and Museum will host another Meet the Author with Alice Duarte Solis on Sunday, March 11th at 2 p.m. She will discuss her new book, Mexican Americans in Torrance. Now, let's find out what's happening in the Torrance sports world. What's going on, AJ?
Here's what you'll see on this week's edition of the Sports Desk. It was a game for the ages in the CIF Open Division semifinals. The overtime period was so nice, Bishop Montgomery and Sierra Canyon played it twice. And speaking of CIF, the West High girls hoop team, they were trying to punch their ticket to the finals. The South High boys soccer team needed 2 overtimes in their CIF playoff thriller against Poly Riverside. Plus, we've got South High School on the baseball diamond. El Camino softball continues their win streak. And we'll check in with the 12th annual Zamperini Invitational for track and field. All this and so much more. Remember to watch the Sports Desk at 4 and 9:30 p.m. right here on Torrance City Cable. Back to you.
Thank you, AJ. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.